Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My face looks like this because today we're doing an Ulta Beauty Collection review video. I guess first impressions as well. I haven't used any of their stuff except for a blush I got at Ulta Beauty World in years. Back when I used Ulta Beauty Collection stuff, I was just starting out, so it must have been 2013, 2014, and their eyeshadow palettes used to come in these black, humongous cardboard packages, and it was the driest, dustiest, least pigmented things you could ever experience. I had so many bad experiences with Ulta Beauty Collection makeup that I never bought it again. But during Christmas, my dad bought me some skincare and it came with a little bag with some things inside of it. So we're gonna put some of those things on my face today and see how we like them because everything deserves a second chance. Caveat. I'm not using the Matte Veil Face Primer. I have incredibly dry skin that only gets drier by the day. This would harm me. This is going to go to somebody who has oily skin who needs a matte primer. I have everything in front of me. First is this beauty sponge. I did use it today on my under eye concealer. I'm testing out a foundation right now, so I didn't want to use a new sponge and have that be the reason I didn't like the foundation. But I actually was pleasantly surprised by this sponge. I have been using this Eco Tools sponge, the compostable sponge, for maybe 8 years. When this came out, I really liked it. I've been using the Real Technique sponge, but their formula on the sponge had changed, and this feels more of like the old formula of the Real Technique sponge. It's also drugstore, so I've been using this forever. This has a very similar squishability. It feels very similar in my hands, which is very nice to know because I love this sponge, and I was nervous this would either not pick up any product or pick up too much product or, you know, like not do what a sponge is supposed to do. But I was really impressed by how this moved my concealer around. I still got great coverage, I think. It took away enough product that my skin still was present. That's why I like using sponges. I like it to like meld with my skin. I think my concealer looks great, so I will definitely be using the sponge again. And, you know, potentially if I like it, and it's cheaper, maybe I'll move sponges. But I'm impressed with the sponge so far. Then we have a few things. We have an eyeshadow palette, an eyeshadow brush, a little baby lip gloss, a little baby blush, a little baby eyelid primer, and a little baby lip stain. I meant to not put any concealer on my eyelids to use as eye primer, but we're gonna use it anyway. I haven't used an eye primer in like literal years. I used to have the primer potion from Urban Decay that I used. Oh, and this one's kind of nudie. Okay, I'm just gonna use a little bit on the very like actual lid of my eye, blend it in with my finger. This eye, if you guys have been around at all, you know it's freaking out right now. It's in that phase again, so I'm trying not to put too much product on it. And same for this eye. A little primer. It doesn't feel particularly tacky or anything. It feels like a concealer, which is fine. That's kind of what I use to prep my eyelids anyway, but just it doesn't feel anything special to note. It's also very, very, very nude. Going with the eyeshadow palette. Again, I haven't used an eyeshadow palette since that crusty, dusty black cardboard palette. I know Ulta Beauty Collection has gone through a lot of changes. I've just been burned before, and I'm untrusting. I'm nervous. This looks like a cute little palette. We're gonna start with this middle shade, taking the little brush, which is adorable. Okay, maybe I'll just dig into the pan. Not really getting much. Okay, we got a little bit here. I'm gonna try pouncing first, like dot 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 dot. Okay, that seems to be working out okay. The one thing I don't like about eyeshadow primers, and this is probably why I stopped using them, is it feels like I'm unable to like drag my brush across my eye. It feels like it's constantly tugging, and I don't love that. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with this pink shade. This pink metallic shade. We're gonna put it where we put the eyeshadow primer. See how that works out. It's got pretty decent color payoff. It's definitely a drier and a harder formula. You really have to go in there with your finger. I'm used to like Danessa Myricks shades, which kind of just like come off. When you dig it in there though, it is quite beautiful. This is gonna age me. but back when everyone was using that Essence highlighter and you had to kind of like dig through like a bit of this like outer layer of it to get to the product, that kind of feels like what this eyeshadow palette is. You have to dig into the pan and kind of take off whatever that outer layer is to really get to the product. But once you do, it's a really nice product. Okay, I don't like this brush. I'm about to abandon this brush because why aren't you blending? The brush itself feels, I don't know. There's not a lighter shade than this in the palette, so we're just gonna live and let live. Take the darker shade here in this palette. We're gonna put it on the outer corner of the eye. It's not bad. I think my only critique is it's much warmer than it looks in the pan. I feel this way about a lot of more affordable eyeshadows. Like, okay, I do think this is like the eyeshadow primer. I just like want, okay, that's not a bad blend. Okay, eyeshadow. I'm gonna take this pink, this on the thing, and put it in the inner corner. I don't mind having a matte inner corner. It basically has no color. Okay, I'm gonna like wipe off the brush on my body because why not? To get all of that color off. And then we're gonna go in with that original shade in the middle of the pan and just run it under the... See how much nicer that applied? Because I just have concealer under here. All right, that's what we're gonna do in the eyes. Overall, my feelings on the eyeshadow palette is, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it. And I still think I feel the same way about the eyeshadows themselves. I think the formulation has gotten better than the last time I used them, but I still think it's overall like not the most enjoyable experience. And now there are so many drugstore eyeshadows, like Wet n Wild does a great job with their eyeshadows that I think are cheaper than this, that I would gravitate toward before going to this one. Brush, I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might really like it for very specific blends, but I don't think I liked the eyeshadow primer is what the thing is. I don't think I liked this. I think this made this feel, I don't like that. I think I've aged out of the eyeshadow primer phase in my life. Okay, we'll use this blush now. This is the cream blush in the shade. It has no shade name. This cream blush. It smells like Play-Doh. That's another thing, that's why I stopped buying Ulta Beauty Collection. If I want something that smells like Play-Doh, I want it to be more affordable. I'm just taking a little bit of this on the same brush that I use my bronzer with. And let's... Okay, that's a really pretty color. Ties in with the eyeshadow palette really well. Since it was a set, that makes me happy. Definitely way less pigment upon first application. Let's see if we can build it up. It's a nice little flush now. I would like a smidgen more. Get that smidgen involved. Yeah, really nice. Put some on my nose. That's really, really nice. I really like this blush. I would use this again. Incredible. I'm just gonna take the butt of my original sponge and just kind of on the edges of my blush, pounce them out. That looks really nice. Thoughts on this blush? I really like it. I would give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 on first impressions. I think it is a beautiful flush of color to the face. It's not too pigmented, which I'm a fan of, so you can definitely build it up. It has a slight bit of shimmer in there. I just think it looks really, really, really beautiful on the face. Let's do some lip products and then I will put something on my eyes. I pulled these two out because this is a lip stain. So I think I'm actually gonna use this one from Persona Cosmetics. This is Rosewood. It's clearly been very loved. It is, I think, a My Lips But Better lip liner. They're very creamy and they do last quite a bit of time. It's my favorite. I'm a little nervous about this. I think this might fuck up the whole look. Okay. Lip stain. It's actually a very, very nice stain. It looks really nice. It's just like a hint of a stain. I don't know if it reacts well with the lip liner. If you can see here, there's chunks of it where it's just like not sticking because I had lip liner there. But I'm okay with that because the bottom lip is really nice. And I think I'm more for prominent bottom lip, slightly less prominent top lip. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. I'm gonna put some mascara on my eyes. Then we have this little lip gloss. No shade name. Baby lip gloss. Smells exactly like I remember. Is having a little bit of bunching up around the inner there. Yeah. It is doing a little bunching, so less is more with that. It's fine. I don't know if I'll use that again. This is okay. You know, it smells like a cheap gloss. And I actually really enjoy this, and I will use this again. So let's go through rapid fire everything that I've used from the Ulta Beauty Collection bag that they gave me. Okay, sponge, impressed with, would use again. Give that a nice solid 8 out of 10. Eyeshadow palette. I don't know if I will ever reach for this again. I will be passing this on to somebody else, maybe donating it somewhere. 5 out of 10. Brush. I see the potential in this one. 7 out of 10. Eyeshadow primer. Too thick. Too thick, too pigmented. It didn't feel like it was sticking. It felt like it was, it just did not feel good. 1 out of 10. Lip stain. A nice 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this. I think it looks really nice on the lips. It gives like a just flush. Love. Lip gloss. 5 out of 10 is something special. It reminds me of any like Five Below lip gloss you would get. But this is the whole look using all of those products. I think overall, like the biggest disappointment for me is the eyeshadow palette, because it does look quite nice, but it is so warm toned, and I'm not used to wearing warm tones like that on my eyes anymore. It's something I would very much like back in the day, but the skin looks great. You know, the blush looks nice. I do like the lips overall. So yeah, would I go out of my way to buy Ulta Beauty Collection things? No. I appreciate when they give you this little sample bag when you buy a certain amount, because then you get to try Ulta Beauty Collection stuff. I think their blushes are like peak, like really, really, really solid. I don't know what they're doing with the blush formula, but keep doing it. Just stop making it smell like Play-Doh. And the lip stuff is really nice. So thank you guys for, oh, I didn't even put I put the blush right over in my to use forever section. So this is a 9 out of 10. This is a really nice blush. So yeah guys, thank you for going with me on that journey. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.